Okay, early morning hustle, new day, new day. I love teaching R. It's so fun because you can just do so much with it. And today we're going to learn a lot. Okay, this new IDE, I've been playing with it, and so what I learned, you get to learn. And so yesterday, after the last video, I was like, having issues with this piece, but you can just bring it down if you like. You can bring down different tabs. I'm pretty sure you can do this in VS Code, which is cool. But we're going to focus on the console. We're not going to do too much with the terminal and other tabs. I believe so. I'm pretty sure, especially in this class. So that's fine. So for video 2, if you're watching this from video 1, this is going to be a little bit different. We're entering into the space of using this function, using packages, right? So we downloaded a package called, I'm about to show you how to download a package called dplyr. So what you would do is you go to install packages, but instead of writing dplyr, I'm actually going to have you install the tidyverse. And so when you install the tidyverse, I'm not going to run it because I already done this before. It's going to install the dplyr as well. So when you press enter, and if it shows you what should you update, and I'm pretty sure you may not have R, you haven't had R, you're learning it for the first time, of course. But I don't know what's going to potentially happen on your screen. You may have to say, do you want to update these other packages? And ideally, you should say 3 for none, or whatever corresponds to none. So you can go ahead and install that package. Okay, tidyverse. So once you do that, dplyr should show up. Okay, dplyr, and then what this is going to allow us to do is to do various transformations within R. I didn't learn the keyboard shortcut for uncommenting. You can put it in the comments sections of these notes. That's fine, of the video. And what we're going to do for us to learn some new functions within the dplyr library, now that's installed, is coming from going to be some nice things in terms of data transformations. So this syntax is weird. So with empty cars is a data set that we used last time, so that's nothing new here. This thing here is called a pipe. This pipe allows empty cars to be the first argument into the function row names to column variable. Okay, it allows it to be the first argument. So I could have just written it as, because this is a learning moment, so I'm going to say it as this, and then run it. But I'm not going to do that because in terms of running functions within functions, it looks better, or it's easier to read using the pipe. So that's why we use the pipe. Okay, and you're going to see more of this as the future, as time progresses. Here we're going to name the rows to variables. So if you remember looking at MC cars, I'm going to show here. We have this variable. The names of the cars legitimately as the row names. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to change that into an actual variable. The row names into a variable, and that's what this function is doing. And this row names to column is a function within dplyr. Okay, so let's do that. Car, should be right, quotes, car model. Okay, so then that should run. Whoop. Oh, row names, cannot find the function row names. That's funny. Not to make this video longer than it ought to be, but I found out the issue. Row names to column is not a part of dplyr. But we're going to focus on dplyr outside of this. I'm just doing this to make what we're going to eventually learn a little bit easier. So the actual functions coming out of that row names is the correct function, but it's coming out of a package called tibble. And so row names to column. So what you're going to do, actually, I don't even have to do that. I'm just going to do library, not even library. I'm doing it a different way so I can teach you all something new. Tibble, : Okay. Let's see. Hopefully this, before I run it, Tibble is a package that allows you to manipulate and have not manipulate, but to work with data frames in terms of the aesthetics of the actual data frame. And so when it comes to turning it to a column, that's a part of that ideology. And what I do, since Tibble's the name of the package, I can gain access to certain functions utilizing this syntax. And it's pretty advanced, but it's nice for you to see it now here. So if I run this should work. And so what I want to now do is just view, as we've done in the past, view this empty cars df. So now I have car model as a variable, and if I were to do view empty cars, you'll see that it's not a variable. Okay, it's not a variable, whereas here it is. Okay. Oh, I love this. Look, this is so cool. All right, so that is that. All right, so there's gonna be 5 functions, I believe, that we're gonna discuss in this video. But again, I'm telling you, I'm gonna teach you as much as I possibly can in terms of this IDE, integrated here, right? Development IDE development environment. You click this button here. You get to see the outline of the notes. So you see video 2, right, and then you have video 3, and so on. So that's kind of cool. Video 3. So that's kind of, you can see that as well. But let's go back to video 2. Got distracted there. And then close this. Oh yeah, so there we go. Let's continue. So the first one, select. So select is a function that allows you to get columns from the actual data frame. So if you wanted to just get certain columns, let's say, suppose auto tab. Let's say we wanted to get car model. Okay, we'll get car model, MPG, horsepower, and weight. We talked about it in the last video. How do I know that these are the variable names? It's from, well, I actually say it here, but then if I go to help, I can actually see what the variables are. All right, so then I can just run this. So I run this, that's good. We're going to get those variables. Select allows me to choose those variables. So if I do a view, okay, car performance, I can see those variables accordingly. Okay, so a couple things with this. There's a lot of things to tell you. I low-key don't like this name of this data frame. I like to underscore all my data frames with the underscore df. Forgot to do that there. But it's nice for me to specify what kind of data I'm working with. That's one thing. Another thing is this pipe, I can use a different kind of pipe. Let's see if this works. No, it doesn't. Control. I could do vertical line, greater than sign. This pipe is more universally accepted. But at the same time, I'm just used to using the traditional old pipe. So these two, this and this, do the same thing. Okay, so be aware of that. And then the other thing to note is that this also works. I can actually do a minus sign in front of these variables, and that's going to remove this. Remove all the variables. So do that. Just run this. Ha 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 ha. Of course, it should be there. Run this. Boom. And if I do view, I'm going to see all the other variables. Car performance, data frame. All the other variables are there. Okay. So you notice that it's giving it to me as a data frame. What's really cool and nifty, if it were to be the case, for me to not use select, however, and utilize this function called pool. Pool does something a little different. Pool allows you to get the information as a vector. Okay. And so therefore it's a misnomer, as if I do this, because now I get it as a vector. So you know the difference between pool and select, and that select allows it to be a data frame, is the return argument is a data frame, and then pool is going to be a vector. Okay. Let's copy and paste this back. Okay. There we go. Boop. Bam. No and. Boop. Bam. There we go. Alright, so that's still a select function. A lot, right? It's cool. Alright, so now let's talk about the mutate function. Let's create a new variable. Mutate allows us to create a new variable from our existing data. So let's go ahead and do this. So right now, the weight of the car, I believe, is in tons. Sorry, no. Yeah, it's in tons. And I'm going to convert it to be in kilograms. So the variable for weight is WT. I'm going to multiply this by 1,000. And then multiply by 0.453592. Okay, I don't have that memorized. Maybe I do have it memorized. You never know. And if I uncomment this, okay, mutate again allows me to create a new variable within my data frame. So if I do this, put a df, so just particular, okay. Right. So now when I view this data frame, okay, car performance kilos df, I now have my weight of the car in kilograms. Okay. Which is quite cool because the units, that's so interesting, the units of the actual data frame of the car, when you make the modification, allows it to spell out the variability, at least the numbers going on, the numbers that are present here. Allows it to spell it out a little bit more. That's so cool. All right. So that's the mutate function. Okay. I was supposed to put a gift here. Sorry, no gift. Filter. Okay, allows me to filter rows, allows me to specify a logical condition, and then see if it's true or false. Okay, sees if it's true or false. So let's go ahead and do that. So I believe we're going to see if the horsepower is greater than 200. Horsepower's variable is HP. So we'll say HP greater than 200, and I'm gonna put a DF over here. Okay, and then put a DF over here. So these are powerful cars. Horsepower, I guess, yeah, horsepower, yeah, that makes sense. Powerful car, anything above 150 can be, or yeah, above a certain number could be seen as powerful. Okay, boom. And then if I do view power, that's interesting. Did I run this? I did run it. Powerful cars, right? All the horsepowers are above 150, as you can see here as well. Okay. Well, technology. I didn't have this when I was. this is really cool. This IDE, so that's cool. So that is filter. We have two more: group by, and then we have group by / summarize, and then we have arrange. So here with the group by function, okay, if I command Z that, sorry about that. What I'm going to do is group by cylinder. Let's actually look at, so we can understand, because this one's a little bit nuanced. So empty cars, DF, okay, boom. And I'm going to group by, I'm going to group by cylinder. I'm going to group by cylinder. So any cylinder that's 6, I'm going to then find the mean of the miles per gallon. So I'm going to group by all the 6s is going to be together, are going to be together. All the 4s are going to be together. All the 8s are going to be together. And I'm going to find the mean corresponding to each of those cylinder types. Okay, so that's what group by summarize does. Okay, so I'm going to group by cylinder. Okay, and I'm going to find the mean miles per gallon. I'm going to uncomment this. Okay, boom. Okay, boom. Boom. And then I know it says the F. Okay, boom. I'm going to do average. I'm just going to type it out so I don't have to type it in the console. By CL, CYL, DF. So I'm going to run this. Okay, so then that gives you the average miles per gallon for each. All right, so I'm going to teach you all. I love this teaching this stuff. So fun because this is one experience, but there could be opportunity. There could be times when there's NAs, meaning that the actual number is not provided. And so and if we do that, or if we have that experience, it would not work. It would provide an NA for the mean. So one of the things that we can do to bypass that is to say NA dot remove is equal to true. Okay, I could say true as in true, or I could just say true as in T. Let's see if they've changed that. Okay, good. Okay, they didn't change that. So true, that works. All right, and we can say, for example, we would want to find the standard deviation because we're extra. We're let's just understand variability of things. So we do SD miles per gallon is equal to SD of, because that's the function for standard deviations, MPG, comma. Well, I don't need it because I don't have it. I won't run it. It's okay. And then I have the standard deviations as well. Okay. And that's me naming it. So if I wanted to name it something like a bad title, like, this is the median. Okay, it's not the median. You can see that's how you specify the name. And it will change the functionality of the function. Okay. Last but not least, arrange. Arrange allows you to sort the numbers based off of based on the numbers. Okay. So arrange is the function that allows you to do that. All right. So right now it's going to go from highest to lowest. So let's run this. And then if I do view sorted VF, I get to see the view based off of miles per gallon from lowest to highest. I got that wrong. It's supposed to be lowest to highest. If I want to make it from highest to lowest, there's a function called descend that allows me to do that as well. So when I run this now, it starts from the highest, from 33 and down. So those 5 verbs, we call it verbs, 5 verbs, are the 5 verbs of dplyr. There are other functions within dplyr in terms of working with data that we're going to eventually see, but those are the first few that are very popular in terms of working with data. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Until next time.